Hi everyone, I'm Muhammad Yunus and welcome back to the series Building Data Warehouse Step by Step using MSBI technology. So we are still in continuation with the crash course of MSBI. We have completed SSIS and SSAS. So we'll start with SSRS. So these are the topics which has to be covered as part of SSRS. So let's start with introduction. The first point is SSRS is a user interface for viewing the reports, and you can create a report directly from OLTP or ODS or data warehouse, and also on top of OLAP cube. So this was explained before as well. Uh, we, we 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 had this screen in previous videos as well. So you can pull your reports directly from data warehouse. You can also pull your report from directly data sources. Also you can pull a report on top of Molak cube. So report creation, it's not necessary that you create only reports on top of data warehouse. There are many scenarios where users have created reports in OLTP system itself, but ideally the whole purpose of having MSBI was the ETL part to extract, transform, load, nothing but to integrate data into data warehouse, and SSAS is to create molap's cubes to simplify and performance, to improve the performance of querying. We got the concept of molap cubes, on top of which we used to create SSRS reports. Ideally this was the scenario, but these days when you work in any organization, you can see SSRS reports are everywhere, irrespective of this life cycle. So it can sit here, it can sit here, it can sit here. So we need not bother about it. You have to just learn the tool. You have lot of opening as SSIS and SSRS developer itself. You need not be specialized in SSAS. If you are good with SQL, SSIS and SSRS, you are still good and demand resource in market. So how to create a report? Let's start with the creation of report directly. Let us jump into that part. Just hit the new button and on new project. You have three options here. Just click the SSRS and you have two options: report server project wizard, report server project. So just go with report server project. It will give an empty project to you. If you go by this, it will provide you the wizard, which we are not interested in real time. You first go with an empty project only. Inside sample I'll have this, and I'll name this as SSRS learning project. So the moment you create, you have this empty work area and also three different types of folders here. So you should start with creating shared data source, then you should provide a data set, and then you can create the report. So you are familiar with these terms because you are already aware of in previous videos we discussed about what is data source in SSIS, what is data source in SSAS. So the same data source concept is applicable to SSRS as well, nothing but your source connections. Dataset is specifically the query through which you want to retrieve the data, and report is nothing but the interface which you want to develop to project your output. So I have added those three steps here: add empty report to solution, create data source, create dataset. Three steps. So let me add report. It's giving me this wizard. I don't want wizard actually. Create an empty report. So this creates me an empty report. There is nothing here. So let me create a shared data source. So for providing connections, you provide a proper name here, SSRS learning project connection. Since our data we are pulling from SQL Server, so we are interested in SQL Server only. There are scenarios where people will be using in real time ODBC connections as well, and Azure platform, because this is something which is really emerging. And also you can connect to your SSRS and you can pull reports from analysis service cube as well. Right now we are bothered about SQL Server reporting, so let's see how we can create reports on top of SQL Server. So this is the scenario we are having. I am going by rollup process, not molap process right now. Click on edit and provide the server name, which is current server. So I am using dot. I am using AdventureWorks. I'll be doing a test connection. And in credentials, if you are using Windows authentication, not required. If you are going with any user ID password, you should provide those details. Right now I am going with Windows authentication. So you can see a connection has been created here. Now create a dataset. So we we spoke about dataset in detail in SSRS. So here it's nothing but dataset is nothing but the set of data through which you want to pull the report. So in shared connection you are getting complete database connection, but here you want a selected query through which you want to pull the report. So that details you should be providing here. Add a new dataset. My first dataset. So let's come here and see what we can add to our connection. I'm doing a new query and I want to see what kind of query I can write to have a report. So I will create a report based on fact internet sales. So you can see this is something which we should write a join query rather to pull the data exactly the way we want. So I'm just looking at how to organize my data. So let's not get into very complex queries. Instead I will have a simple query. So top 5 products we are having here, but any other details in product table, unit price, extended amount, product standard cost. Okay, we'll do like this. Select top 5 fact internet sales. Order by sales amount DESC. So you can see your highest sales amount. We are sorting based on that in descending order. And also I don't want to list everything here. I'll list only product standard cost, sales amount, tax amount, and product key. So I want this type of report to be viewed to my management. So I'm creating a simple report. Let me copy this query to SSRS wizard, dataset, and just click on OK. So you can also pass your stored procedure to your report. If you click on this, it will ask you for a stored procedure. So you can pass your stored procedure name here, and that will trigger your stored procedure. But right now I'm interested in a sample query. Click OK. So your dataset is ready. If you want to edit, you can just double click on the dataset, and that will prompt you the screen. Now modify your report based on what you want to project. My first report. Now what I'll do is, these are something which is consistent across the project. I don't recommend you to create a shared dataset unless it is consistent across the project. I just want to explain you what is shared data source. That's why I have created this one. Shared data source makes sense, but shared data sets, it makes sense only if it's really required, because usually the data set is confined to your report, not complete project. So what we have created, this query, is not necessarily required for complete project. It can be confined to a single report, but not all the reports. I mean, we don't want all the time top 5 sales amount products, right? So one sample report should be serving the purpose. So just to explain, I have created this shared data set. So however, let's create our data source for this particular report. I am creating my data source. So I'll not do anything here. I'll first report data source. Sorry. Instead of embedded connection, I will go with this because I have a shared data connection. I'll click this and I'm good. My connection is created because I'm inheriting this connection. Dataset, just click on dataset. It's prompting me for a shared dataset. I'll click this and I'll provide a proper name. And I'll do an OK. So you can see the list of fields which we are trying to retrieve through query is being displaying here. So I want a report here. So let me have a tabular here and project these fields. So insert table. This will insert a table for me here, and I should provide my headers here. The data will be prompted here. That's simple logic. So I'll drag down this bit to have a report in proper alignment. I'll drag my product key here. I'll drag my standard cost here. I'll drag my sales amount here. Now if you want to add further columns, just need to align properly. This SSRS will provide you that feature again. Just right click and you'll have insert column right side. So I have inserted column and tax amount. So your report, sample report without any decoration, it is ready. So it's as simple standard SSRS report where we are projecting our data on a tabular report. So let me just save this and preview this. So if I want to see the report, I should just click on the preview button. So you can see it is providing me a report here. So let's go to again design mode and see what we can change. So I'll do some color changes and some heading changes. I'll make this bold, because heading, if it is bold, it looks good. And I'm just checking if I can add some color to this. Okay, okay. Here I have this color, so I'll go by tan. Okay, I'll save this report and just preview my report. So you can see this report is in a proper shape now. So that's pretty much it on introduction front. So if you want to expand this, you can expand this, and I can save and preview it. So yeah, this is how your first report looks like. So that's pretty much it on introduction front. We'll continue with insert in detail. When I say insert in detail, insert option in detail. Let's walk through on this and go ahead from there. So I'm concluding this video here. Thanks for watching.